Hey guys, the dude from Denmark here. In my last Born of the Gods spoiler episode, at the end I talked about another cycle in Born of the Gods that I didn't wanted to show you there because I thought it wasn't the right place because I otherwise wanted to make a video where I talk about this cycle in general. This new cycle in Born of the Gods is the Nuke Spawn cycle, where for every color we have a bestow creature that does the same with counters. Of course, it's different from each color, but they give enchanted creature a plus plus something, and the bestow is right about the same price to pay. What I'm annoyed about over this cycle is that we always have a tons of bestow creatures. Why do we need a common bestow creatures that does exactly the same with each color instead of getting cards in Born of the Gods that could have been unique and didn't remind you of each other? So I definitely think that these cards isn't needed in Born of the Gods and in Magic in general, because it's so it doesn't really matter. I do understand that cycles can help the new players to Magic learn the different colors of Magic the Gathering and what they are all about. In this case, it doesn't really learn anything because blue doesn't have flying or drawing cards, and black doesn't have death touch or something else, or red doesn't deal damage, green doesn't do its thing, and white doesn't give life, and so on. At that, if you talk about new players, this cycle is even a lot worse, I think. I wouldn't mind these cycles if it was only like one cycle for every set, or max two. But apparently we have to have like 3, 4, 5 cycles, which just take a lot of space in a set, and especially in Born of the Gods which is a small set. Then why do we need so many cycles? We also have the arts type of something in Born of the Gods, where for every color, though we only got 3 so far, but for every color your creatures get something, and the opponent lose that something. For instance, the green one have creatures you control have hexproof, and then the opponent loses hexproof and can't gain hexproof for its creatures. I actually think that this cycle is kind of awesome, because it's a bit different from the other cycles, but it's still a cycle that takes up a lot of space for otherwise cards that could have been really awesome and really unique. In Born of the Gods we also have a mechanic called Inspired, which apparently also needs a cycle of 5 different colors that do the same thing if you pay 3 or 2 mana, which is another example of why do we need this cycle. It's so annoying to look at. It seems like in this case it's like Inspired are getting pushed really hard. I think it's a fun mechanic, but not this way at all. It would be more fun if we got few inspired creatures here and there, but not had to have in every color. Just to point out that this inspire mechanic is so awesome that we need a cycle for it. So yeah, I don't know. I just really don't like it. In Theros we also had quite a few cycles. For instance, we had the nymph cycle that was for every color with a bestow cost that looked like kind of the same, and then something special ability for each color, and then enchanted creature would get something special. We also have had a cycle where each color would cost 1 mana and do something special for its own color, like a Dark Betrayal, where you destroy a target black creature that only costed 1 black mana. In Theros we also had the popular Ordeal cycle, which in this case I find a bit different. I actually like that cycles, but again, for instance with the nymph cycle, bestow was really pushed, and we could have a lot of different bestow stuff if we wouldn't have had this cycle. The Dark Betrayal cycle, for instance, was also a really limited cycle, since it only did something with its own color, for the mana it costed. Which again, I would much rather have something a lot stronger that could deal with other colors instead of just such a limit thing, which again could make a path for other cards that could be a lot greater than this cycle. If we look outside the Theros block, we also, for instance, in Dragon's Maze, had quite a few cycles. For instance, the Maze cycle, where for every color you would have the typical, the green one, for instance, would have Trample, and the black one would have Death Touch, and so on. Where multicolor creatures you control would have the same thing as the creature had, which was really boring. I know. I think flavor-wise, it's really interesting, but again, card-wise, it just takes up a lot of space that could have been used for something better. We also had the gatekeepers in Dragon's Maze, where if you control 2 or more gates, something would happen for each color. Again, very predictable for each color. That, for instance, the blue one would draw you cards and so on. My point with this video is to start a debate whether or not the Wizards of the Coast are making way too many cycles lately. Because it could be that I was really wrong and just a mean old bitch that just whine a lot about cycles that are actually really important for the different sets we have in Magic the Gathering. Because one could argue that it balanced the different colors. I just would love that we could have another type of balancing colors instead of cycles. But you can leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think of this debate, and if you think that cycles are too much, or we actually need more of these cycles. Until next time, have fun, guys.